Welcome to Waterline 911. I am Mark and I am your online guide towards addressing your non-revenue water issues. Here, I will break down complex problems, share real-world solutions, and give you the tools and insights to make an immediate impact to your water system. I will also share proven strategies to help water utilities recover revenue, reduce loss, and build efficiency. On our previous blog, pinag-usapan natin yung step-by-step holistic NRW reduction solution that you need to reduce water losses. So, we formulated a holistic approach to address NRW. This is more on a Philippine-based approach, which I want to share with you today through this blog. And this is based on our observations, past experiences, and gained knowledge over the years. So if you're ready, take out your pen and paper and list down these step-by-step solutions to reduce NRW. Lesser cost, but still effective. If hindi nyo pa yun napanood, I suggest na panoorin nyo muna before you continue watching this video. Ilalagay ko yung link sa comment section. Kasi for today's video, pag-uusapan natin in details yung first step ng holistic approach on addressing NRW, and that is to make sure that water production is measured accurately by use of accurate production meters. Mas ma-appreciate nyo kasi ito if napanood nyo na yung previous video ko about the step-by-step holistic NRW reduction approach. Pero bago yon, kung gusto mo ng mga ganitong klaseng content, please follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel at i-click na rin ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga susunod ko pa na mga videos. As we all know, NRW is the difference between the system's input volume and volume billed to customers. So it is really important na masigurado natin na sa start pa lang ng system, tama agad ang measurement natin. If everything is wrong sa start, maliligaw na agad tayo in addressing our NRW. Hindi natin ma-measure yung ating true NRW. Sometimes nga, akala natin ang taas or ang baba ng ating NRW, pero hindi pala yun yung totoong situation dahil sa production pa lang, mali na agad yung ating measurement. Ang maling measurement ng ating production is obviously by having the inaccurate way of doing it. Isa dyan is by relying to mathematical computations and derivations in which we rely only to the specification ng ating pumps on how much water we produce sa ating pumping stations and not actually measuring our production by use of flow meters or water meters. Iba naman is kumukuha lang ng measuring point sa supply pipe and at one single time mini-measure yung flow, then magbe-base na doon yung production volume. Meron din naman, which is the most common, is by using inaccurate meters, like using a very old mechanical meter na wala ng maintenance, hindi yearly chine-check, and since umiikot pa yung dial, hindi na pinapalitan. Reminder lang ha, mechanical meters has moving parts na subject to wear and tear when used for a long period of time. Kaya nga we always suggest na if 5 years old and above na yung mechanical meter, subject na agad for replacement, and whether mechanical meter man yan or electronic flow and water meters, like example electromagnetic or ultrasonic type na flow meters, at least once a year dapat chine-check natin yung accuracy nila. Now, ang topic talaga natin today is paano ba ginagawa yung meter accuracy verification gamit yung portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter. Of course, for checking ng mga production meters, hindi naman natin tinatanggal sa equation yung pagpapatest ng mga meters natin to a meter testing facility. To be honest, that's the best option. Medyo mag-i-spend nga lang ng time and effort kasi you need to pull the production meter from line para matest sa mga meter testing facilities. Kaya pag-uusapan natin yung quickest and alternative way to do it through meter accuracy verification by use of portable ultrasonic flow meter. Before natin simulan, paalala lang, medyo technical yung klase ng discussions natin today. So better to listen carefully. And if meron kayong terms or words na narinig na medyo bago sa inyo, search nyo na lang sa internet para maintindihan yung topic. To give you a brief context, portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter is a velocity type meter which uses ultrasonic signal and transit time technology to measure flow sa ating pipe. Ang kailangan lang natin gawin is i-clamp lang yung sensor sa pipe, program the necessary parameters dun sa equipment, then a matter of minutes may reading na tayo. Nagagawa nyo yon through its pair of ultrasonic sensors na parehong nagtatransmit and nag-receive ng ultrasonic signal to each other. Yung isang sensor nakapwesto sa upstream side ng pipe, meaning kung saan galing yung flow, and yung isa naman is nakapwesto sa downstream side ng pipe, kung saan papunta yung flow. Mini-measure nila kung gaano kabilis or katagal nila nare-receive yung signal from each sensor at yun yung tinatawag na transit time technology. Pag walang flow sa pipe, equal lang yung bilis ng palitan ng ultrasonic signals. Pero pag may flow na, mas mabilis nakakarating yung signal from upstream sensor to downstream sensor kasi nakaayon siya sa flow. And mas matagal naman makarating yung signal from downstream sensor to upstream sensor kasi against sa flow yung direction ng ultrasonic signal. Yung time difference nila is proportional sa velocity ng tubig sa loob ng pipe. Pag mabagal lang yung velocity ng tubig sa loob ng pipe, maliit lang yung time difference. Pag mas mabilis naman yung velocity ng tubig sa loob ng pipe, mas malaki yung time difference. Now, since yung time difference na yon is proportional dun sa velocity ng tubig sa loob ng pipe, nako-convert yung velocity into flow by multiplying that velocity reading to the cross-sectional area ng pipe. So, velocity times pipe's cross-sectional area will give us the flow reading. Yun yung principle of operation ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter. Bago natin i-install yung sensor ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter, meron tayong mga unang dapat tandaan or i-check. Meron kasi siyang conditions to make sure na tama ang magiging readings niya. Better to take note of this para if ever gagawa kayo ng mga bagong production sources or even meter assembly para sa mga commercial meters ninyo, magawan nyo na agad ng provision or space to install this equipment for maintenance purposes. Number 1, dapat merong space kung saan pwedeng i-install yung ultrasonic sensors. Clamp-on type yung sensor natin. Depende sa size ng pipe kung saan siya i-install, nagbabago yung distance between sensors para tugma yung transmission nila ng signal sa isa't isa. The space where the sensor should be installed is dapat makinis and hanggat maaari, walang ibang nakakabit. Talagang clear pipe lang siya na provision for installation ng ultrasonic sensors. Number 2, dapat yung space is malayo sa mga sources ng turbulent flow. Ang turbulent flow, in layman's term, is yung magulong daloy ng tubig. Hindi smooth and kung saan-saan yung direction ng flow. So ganito kasi, hindi synchronize yung velocity ng flow profile ng tubig. Hindi ma-identify ng sensor kung ano ba yung velocity ng tubig sa loob ng pipe. Nangyayari yon kung yung tubig is galing sa mga pipe bends, T-connections, pumps, partially open valves, and other things which disrupts the water flow. Since hindi naman may iwasan yung mga ganon, please make sure lang na yung space provided to install the ultrasonic sensors is at least 10 times the pipe diameter yung layo sa upstream and 5 times the diameter yung layo sa downstream side sa mga ganon. For example, 100 mm yung pipe. So dapat sa upstream, nasa 1 meter yung layo ng upstream side ng provided space for the ultrasonic sensors sa mga parts ng pipe na nagkukos ng turbulence ng flow. And 0.5 meters or 50 cm naman sa downstream side. Number 3, dapat flowing full yung pipe. As per sa sinasabi ko kanina, nakakabasa ng flow ang portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter by multiplying its velocity reading to the cross-sectional area ng pipe. So pag hindi puno yung pipe, magkaka-problem sa computation kasi hindi fully filled yung cross-sectional area. If okay na ang lahat and na-satisfy na yung tatlong conditions, pwede na i-install yung portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter. Sa pag-install ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter, you need to get the following data na ipoprogram nyo sa equipment. Una is the pipe's external diameter. Take note ha, external diameter, hindi internal. Kaya external diameter is because sa labas ng pipe naka-install yung sensors. So yung distance to travel ng signal is yung sukat ng external diameter ng pipe. Number 2 is the pipe material. Since ultrasonic or sound signal yung ginagamit ng sensor ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter, reliant siya sa speed of sound ng material made ng pipe. Iba-iba kasi ang speed of sound depende sa pipe material. Iba sa PVC, sa cast iron, ductile iron, etc. So dapat makuha yon at i-program sa equipment. Usually, may default list na yung equipment ng pipe materials. So isi-select nyo na lang. However, if wala sa default list yung pipe material kung saan i-install yung sensor, iset nyo lang sa other yung program and then input the speed of sound nung pipe material. Mahanap nyo yung value nun sa internet. Next is the pipe thickness. Kaya need kunin yung pipe thickness is because of same reason sa pagkuha ng pipe's external diameter. Sa labas ng pipe naka-install yung sensor. Bago pa dumaan sa tubig yung ultrasonic signal, dadaan muna siya sa thickness ng pipe. May mga pipes na bukod sa thickness, meron pa siyang lining. Iba din yung material and thickness nun. So both material and thickness ng lining dapat ipoprogram din sa equipment. Next is the mode of installation. So depende sa brand ng equipment, merong 3 hanggang 4 na installation modes. Ito yung mga yon. Una is yung single traverse. Ibig sabihin, direct yung transmission ng signal from upstream sensor to downstream sensor and vice versa. Ginagamit ito sa mga sobrang laking size ng pipe, usually 350 mm and above. Pangalawa is yung dual traverse. Dito naman, from one sensor to another, magbabounce ng isang beses yung ultrasonic signal sa loob ng pipe. Ito yung pinaka-common na mode ng installation kasi ito yung pinaka-conventional or yung pinaka-madaling way ng pag-install. Pangatlo is yung multi-traverse. Sa installation mode na to, either 2 or 3 bounces yung ginagawa ng ultrasonic signal sa loob ng pipe. May mga brands na 2 bounces lang, pero naman din na hanggang 3 bounces. Itong mode of installation naman na to is most applicable sa maliliit na sizes ng pipe. Usually mga 25 mm and below. Kaya sa maliit na pipes ito ginagamit is to give enough time yung processor ng equipment na mag-compute sa data na nare-receive niya from the signals received from the sensors. Masyado kasing malapit yung travel distance ng signal kaya pinagbabounce ng twice or thrice para magkaroon ng delay yung transmission ng signals at mabigyan ng enough time yung sensor to compute. After makuha yung lahat ng necessary data, ipoprogram na siya sa equipment. Then after that, pagbibigay yung equipment ng distance between sensors na kailangan natin sundin. Yun kasi yung sensor distance na computed ng equipment para magtapat yung dalawang sensor and maging smooth yung transmission nila ng signal. If everything is done correctly, i-check na doon sa equipment yung tinatawag natin na signal quality. Yung signal quality is our indicator kung accurate ba yung magiging readings ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter. Ang dapat na value niya is 95 to 100%. Yun yung pinaka-common. May ibang brand kasi na accepting 90 to 100% to say na accurate yung flow na binabasa niya. If below yung signal quality sa allowable percentage, it's either need natin i-check yung installation natin, meaning baka hindi tama yung distance ng sensor as suggested ng equipment, hindi na ilapat ng tama yung sensor sa pipe, or hindi level yung sensors or tabingi yung pagkaka-install. If sure naman tayo that everything is fine sa installation natin but still hindi pa rin maabot yung allowable percentage ng signal quality, then baka yung flow nasa loob ng pipe yung merong problem. Pwedeng hindi flowing full yung tubig at turbulent yung flow. There are 2 ways to conduct the meter accuracy verification of production meters using portable ultrasonic type clamp-on flow meter. Either flow-based or volume-based. Either of the two pwedeng gawin. Pero mamaya sasabihin ko kung ano yung usual na ginagamit ko. Sa flow-based meter accuracy verification, simple lang siya and mabilis lang gawin. Upon installation of portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter and making sure na okay yung signal quality, babasahin lang yung flow reading ng equipment and ng production meter na tinetest. After that, i-compute na yung percentage error. Sa pag-compute ng percentage error, ang ginagamit na formula is production meters flow reading minus ultrasonic flow meters flow reading divided by ultrasonic flow meters flow reading times 100. If mechanical type yung production meter, magpaparan lang ng volume in a defined period of time, like for example, 5 minutes. Then, i-compute na yun to flow unit na binabasa ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter. Sa volume-based meter accuracy verification, magbabase ang reading sa totalizer ng both portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter and the production meter, hindi sa flow readings niya. So dito, you need to get ng sabay ang initial readings ng both meters, run a certain period of time, like for example 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then get the final readings ng sabay ulit sa both meters. After that, for both meters, i-compute yung accumulated volume nila by subtracting the initial reading from the final readings. From that accumulated volume ng both meters, i-compute na yung percentage error using the formula production meters accumulated volume minus ultrasonic flow meters accumulated volume divided by ultrasonic flow meters accumulated volume times 100. So compared sa flow-based meter accuracy verification, mas matagal gawin ang volume-based meter accuracy verification kasi naka-base tayo sa accumulated volume and need maghintay ng certain period of time. Pero hindi limited to 5 minutes or 10 minutes ang time ha. You can do it kahit 30 minutes or 1 hour. Depende sa gusto nyong iset na standard. For me lang kasi, enough na yung 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Among the two ways of meter accuracy verification activity, I usually do the volume-based meter accuracy verification. Kasi as per my observation, mabilis magbago ang flow reading ng mga meters. So hindi ako nagde-depend to the flow reading alone. I found volume-based more reliable kasi to get the volume naman talaga yung purpose ng paggamit natin ng mga flow meters and water meters, and mas nabibigyan ng time yung equipment na mag-compute and ma-measure yung volume ng tubig na dumadaan sa kanya. Hindi ko lang tinutuloy to volume-based yung meter accuracy verification if in case makita ko na masyadong malayo yung flow reading ng portable ultrasonic clamp-on type flow meter compared to the production meter. If the purpose is just to compare the flow meter reading, obvious naman kasi na magiging malayo na rin yung reading niya kahit na mag-volume based pa ako ng test. However, if the report needs to get the exact percentage error, then I will still do the volume based meter accuracy verification. Okay, so yun yung how to do meter accuracy verification activity for production meters, satisfying our first step sa holistic NRW reduction solution that you need to reduce water loss as per our previous video. Pag-uusapan pa natin in details yung iba pang mga steps sa ating step-by-step holistic NRW reduction solution sa mga susunod ko pa na mga videos. Hopefully, makatulong sa inyo ang topic sa video natin for today. Again, I am Mark and I am doing this series of vlogs to guide you on your battles against non-revenue water because we know that every drop matters.